So continuing with chapter 11, question C, is there a significant treatment effect? We're going to use an alpha of 0.05 and a two-tailed test. Some information that we will need for that hypothesis testing procedure from the previous calculations. The mean of the different scores was 3. Our degrees of freedom, that is n minus 1, 6 minus 1, which is 5. Actually, I don't think we calculated that previously. And we're going to need the estimated standard error, which is 1. So step 1, we need to have our hypotheses. So the null and the alternative. Now, because it's a two-tailed test, either one is easy enough to start with. It's always about the difference scores. So the mean of the difference scores is 0, or the mean of the difference scores is not 0. And what it's talking about here, what we're looking at here is if the treatment has no effect, then before and after are the same. And if they are the same, then you subtract one from the other and it should be 0. That's our null. If they're not 0 on average, that would be our alternative. Step 2, we take our alpha level, two-tailed, and our degrees of freedom, and we're going to go to table B2, and we're going to find our critical values. If I share my screen here, go to the statistical tables, I need to get into the table B2. It's a proportion and two tails combined is 0.05. And we want to go down until we find 5 degrees of freedom over here. And we read across to two tails combined. And our critical value is plus or minus 2.571. So that's the value we're going to compare to determine whether or not we have statistical significance. So T critical plus or minus 2.571, and it's plus or minus because it's two-tailed. Step 3. Typically, step 3 would start by having us compute the estimated standard error, but because we already did that for part B, step 3, we can jump right into our t-test. So we're going to take our mean difference, subtract the difference that we're expecting in the population, divided by the estimated standard error. The mean difference was 3. Subtract, we're expecting 0 if there is no treatment effect, divided by, and the estimated standard error is 1. So our t is 3. So the t obtained is sometimes here at t calculated is 3. So step 4, we need to make a decision, interpret it, provide some evidence. Those outer limits, minus 2.571, positive 2.571. Value we calculated is out here, it's 3, so it's in this rejection region. So we're going to reject it with a null and accept. Then alternative, and there is a statistically significant difference. So that concludes question 7. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to pause, then I'm going to go in and start up sort of an extra or a bonuses where I will calculate each of the effect size measures so that we can get some extra practice on that. So Cohen's d R squared confidence interval.